Hi everyone, good testing of the day. Hope you found it helpful. Just going to run through a couple of points that we discussed in the session, namely starting at the setup position there, and particularly with your right hand grip. If we zoom here on the left hand side, and now you can see your right hand very much underneath the grip. Palm, we would suggest now sort of facing quite high up towards the sky. And because of that, it's going to cause the club face now to come back in a closed position unless your hand stays underneath it, which would be very unnatural when you're swinging the club. So the club will either come back closed, hitting the ball low to the left, or you'll be forced to push your hands forward to try to square the club face up. And in turn, in doing that, you will de-loft it. So if we look at this shot on the left-hand side, now although it was a high shot, you'll see how now when we slow this down, we come into impact, how your hands, when they come into the golf ball, now quite a long way in front of the golf ball. Now the contact your club has on this golf ball is very much high off the club face. The ball now is shooting up almost too high. You can see the shaft there quite a long way forward. Your hands very much sort of pushed towards target. So if you made a good contact with the golf ball, it would just be driven very low. The only way you can get the ball up in the air is by catching sort of the top part of the club, and in turn, although that might get the ball up in the air, you are going to lose a bit of yardage. So what I want to try and do is get into the habit of putting that golf club out in front of you. You can see when we're doing this, I am slowing it down obviously, but it takes a little bit of getting used to where that club is. So you're sort of twisting yourself around, trying to find where that club needs to be, getting the club in the right position. And ideally speaking, you want the club to be kind of straight in front of you, not off to the side. I was trying to stand sort of as a 90-degree two, so that club's a little bit off to the side there. But if we can get it back kind of in front of you, you'll see here now that club face when it stands up there, the leading edge of that golf club is pretty much straight up to the sky, which is a square club face now. And when that right hand then goes on the grip, it'll be a lot easier for you to put your right hand in position on top. And if we look at these two in positions now at setup, we zoom in on that grip and we zoom in on that grip. Hopefully you can see quite a bit of a difference there in both your left and your right hand. Certainly the sort of amount of glove, the white part of your glove that is being shown on your left hand there, we can see a little bit more on the left hand side, showing your left hand a bit too far over, but particularly your right thumb going down the grip a bit more rather than sort of off to the side there, as we can see, with a very underneath hooker's grip type position. So once you've got that club face in a better position, as we said, grip wise is something that can change pretty quickly. It will still feel a bit awkward, but you can change a static change quite quickly. However, a physical change when you're swinging the golf club will take a bit of time. Now, if we see this when you come back down, the hands are still a smidgen ahead of the golf ball. Now, if I'm being critical there, they're not bad. They are certainly inside the outside edge of your left foot, or left leg, shall I say, which is great. And what will happen now with this position, that grip, you can see your hands are returning back to a similar kind of position to where they started, hence the club face now is straight. Just the fact the shaft is just pushed forward a bit too much meant that ball sort of went off to the right there. But as we saw towards the end of the session, really getting a good bit of distance there with those drivers and three woods, getting out maybe sort of 130, 140 yards in the air with a couple of those shots. Now if we can work on that kind of swishing of the club at the bottom, so that club head now when it comes back into impact kind of catches up a bit quicker. So rather than your hands being kind of in this position, we want to see your hand just a little bit more behind where they are there. Just give you a chance to sort of square that club face up. That'll hit the ball a little bit higher and also straighter and also further. So I hope that all makes sense. Any questions, obviously feel free to give me a shout, and I'll catch up in a couple of weeks for your next lesson. Cheers, Rian. Ta-ra.